All right. This is Vanquish Canine, and he left a little message. He said the list I used at Dortmund, I made impermanents out of Persias, which was a big mistake, in my opinion. Any thoughts? Okay. So, first things first. I don't. Okay, so when it comes to versus Canine, I think that this deck is. I think this deck is pretty solid at the moment. I'm a big fan of this deck. There are a couple of things that I would change just immediately looking at your list. First of which is I don't think that you need three Jialong anymore. There are a lot less level fives. You're a lot less reliant on like the level five part of the deck. So I don't think that you need three Jialong. And we have three raisins, so it's not like you're at a loss for fires at the moment. Um, so I think that you don't need three Jialong. I also like what Mario D'Amico did and Diego did. They played two copies of Borger. I think that Borger is a lot better right now than it was last format. Just because going second, it allows you to dodge cards like Fallen and the Virtuous, and it's another chain block for Mandate. I think you want to lean heavier on the Vanquish Soul part of the deck than the Canines. You're also not playing the Trap card. I would for sure play the Trap card. I think the Trap card is great. Even against MST, I still think that the Trap card is great. Um, you burn them for 18 and it makes all your monsters indestructible. It also summons a monster out your hand. And then against Draco Tail, they don't really have an option for it. Side the trap? Nah, I would main deck the trap card, 100%. I don't know if I would main deck Force Release. I don't think you need Force Release. And if you play it, then I would maybe side it for going first. Another thing that I've kind of experimented with is less copies of Mad Love. I don't think with three Rosin, you want three copies of Mad Love. I think two is enough, to be honest. It's the worst normal summon, and this deck already plays a lot of normal summons. I also still think that you need two Lantern, even if you are like I said, not leaning heavier on the canine cards. I would cut the chaotic element, play a second Lantern, cut the third Jialong, play a second Borger, and then cut the third Mad Love, and then play the trap card. And then cut the trap card, and then play another non-ninja card, whether probably like a third Bell. I also don't hate Imperm in the main deck. I don't think that was a terrible idea. As for the side, I think the format is going to be a lot more diverse now because of the result of the YCSs. I don't think you need Fissure. Yeah, I definitely don't think you need Fissure. The rest of the side is fine. Extra deck is also fine. I don't know if you need rocks. The Xyz, I don't know if you need it. I would probably play Valon instead of it. I think having Valon is good. I was thinking Bishils, I don't know. I don't know about Bishils. I don't think they're great right now. But yeah. Those are just my thoughts on this deck list. Does anybody else have any deck lists? So far only one person submitted a deck list. So if nobody has anything they want me to look at, then that's fine. We could just do something else. Alright. Font. Another deck list. Phantasma good? No, I don't think Phantasma is good. Alright, Radiant Typhoon. So, as for the main deck, the only things that I'm a little bit sus on are the amount of like engine you're playing, which sounds weird because one of the things about this deck is that this deck bricks. I'll look at the deck in a minute. I don't know if you want to play multiple copies of Magala. I experimented with one Magala, two Magala, three Magala. I think one Magala is fine. I don't think you need multiple Magala. The card is just not great going second, especially like into back row where you're gonna have to normal summon a name. You almost never want to normal summon Magala going second. Going first, it's an okay normal summon, but it only works with 7 other of your cards as like a starter that isn't like neg. It works with the MST, but you're gonna have to destroy another spell and trap you control, which isn't always the greatest thing. So I think that one Magala is fine. Two Shield Bearer. I saw some people doing that. I'm not opposed to that at all. I think that there is a little bit of redundancy because you do draw a lot of cards. So the hands where you draw Eldem or draw Swen plus Shield Bearer. Not really Swen. Swen, you get it does open up some lines because you're not gonna have to search chant. You can search other things. But hands where you open up Eldem or you're able to play and you have Shield Bearer, it does lose a lot of value. But the deck does have some consistency issues, so I don't mind playing 2 copies of Shield Bearer. I don't think you're supposed to play 3 copies of Fallen, by the way. I think 2 is enough. You can almost infinitely, or not almost, you can infinitely recycle the Fallens. Once you see the first Fallen, you don't ever want to have a second one. The first one replaces itself immediately. And then your trap could just keep on looping the Fallens while the Synchro keeps on looping the fusion monster. I would probably find room for a third Sheena if you're going to main deck Sheena. Super Polymerization in the side deck. I mean, that's not... I don't have an issue with that. I feel like Super Polymerization is at its best game 1, though. I think post-side Super Polymerization gets a lot worse. Especially against, like, Dracotail. Because they're going to have their side deck cards in. Some people are siding Invader or Diablo, so I think cards of Super Polymerization get worse. I think the best game that Super Polymerization has is game 1. Again, like I said about the Vanquish Soul deck, I think the format is getting more diverse. I think Fissure is getting a lot worse. Because the likelihood of you running into Dracotail is just, like, decreasing now. Especially because the deck didn't win anything. And people are looking at decks like Vanquish Soul, decks like Mal's, deck like Yummy, where, like, Fissure is a lot worse. I think that you don't need Fissure. Same thing with Golem. I understand Golem as like an out to like Crystron boards or an out to Liger, but I feel like it's low-key kind of fake. And it's not fake against the Liger situation. It's just fake because Liger is a fake deck. Like, you're never really going to play against that deck. And you almost have to like lose the dice roll to lose to that deck. And then as for the Crystron outs, it's like a fake Crystron out because... I think if you Lava Golem and you lose your normal summon, the likelihood of you breaking the rest of their board, unless your hand is crazy, is like very low. Your extra deck is fine. The only thing that I think you're missing is Gossip Shadow. I think Gossip Shadow does come up sometimes. I don't think you need Albalenitis. Alright, next. Is Tumagala really not mandatory? Nope. I said I didn't think he should play it. Tumagala. Alright, another Vanquish Soul deck. I mean, I like this main deck a lot better. I already talked about it, though. I don't think you should be playing 3 Mad Love. I think it should be at 2. This deck has a lot of normal summons. You're not playing Noroi. I think you should 100% play Noroi. At least one Noroi. I have the Goosher. We can look at your list, bruh. You should 100% be playing Noroi. Instead of the second Lupus. Like, Lupus is not even that good of a card to draw by itself right now. I know, like, last format, people were saying, like, oh, Lupus by itself is pretty good because of the Zeus plays, but I think that a lot of those plays, like, are going to happen less now. Fallen in the Virtuous is a super popular card. I think that the Lupus goo is not very good right now. I would play one Lupus and play Noroi for sure. And then, like I said, with the Mad Love thing. As for the side deck, Anti-Magic Arrow is funny. I actually don't like Anti-Magic Arrow in this deck because you lose your battle phase, and without spells and traps, or like cards like Start, I don't know how big of a board or how wide you can actually go. Especially into decks like Dracotail and Radiant Typhoon, which are going to have like a pretty strong board. If you want Mermail, yeah, I was going to say like Mermail uses Anti-Magic Arrow pretty well because they're able to clear a lot of cards once they Anti-Magic Arrow, and they don't play spells and traps for the most part, but this deck kind of needs the spells and traps, so I don't know if I'd play Anti-Magic Arrow. You're also playing Shared Ride. I mean, that's cute. I don't think it should be Shared Ride. I think, yeah, I don't know about Shared Ride. Shared Ride is kind of weird. It's like a fake floodgate that can get ashed. I don't know what to suggest, though. Maybe Mistaken Arrest. I don't know how much you need to search on that turn 3. Like if you go end phase mistaken arrest and just like have mistaken arrest for their turn, I feel like that's enough to win the game against a deck like Radiant Typhoon. I also don't know about there can be. I don't think you should be playing that card. Extra deck wise, it's fine. It's like little variations here and there that different people do. Some people don't play 104. Some people want to play the 101 stuff. Like it's all whatever. It's fine. All right, next. All right, Vexen. Let me see what you're working with, bro. You got the goo. Let's see. Okay. So, I mean, it's like a Vanquish deck. It's just a Vanquish deck with this. I mean, it's like 4 more darks. That's kind of cute. I mean, the synergy is that they're dark monsters. Reprodokus to turn something into a spellcaster. That's kind of funny. Zombie vampire summon Raisin, bro. It does do that sometimes. Turn Borger into spellcaster. I mean, that is goo. That is tech. That is tech. Alright, let's move on past this. I don't know what else to say, bro. Alright, next list from Rasta. Alright, pure branded. Okay. I feel like if you're playing pure branded, I feel like you almost have to main Christia. I think this deck's end board is like decent, but I feel like this deck's end board could get broken by Radiant Typhoon or Draco Tail with some hands. I think you have to be doing something unfair in the main deck. I already told Trev I think this card is dog shit and not needed. I think you should be playing the Spriggans kit. I think that card makes a lot of your combos better, like with Brand Infusion. Chrissy is a brick. Bro, this deck plays hella bricks. I think you can play one more. I mean, Veiler feels a little bit out of place. I feel like this deck, because it plays such a small amount of non-engine, you just have to play the most impactful ones. So I wouldn't play Veiler for sure. I think Ash, Fua, yeah. Droplets, sure. Maybe. I don't even know if you play Droplets. Well, Droplets is probably the next most impactful card. No, it isn't. Half of the branded is engine requirements. Yes, but what did I say yesterday? Engine requirements tend to lean on the brickier side of cards for the most part. These are cards that you don't want to hard open. Like you don't want to open Quam. You don't want to necessarily open Sarnair by like in a vacuum. You don't necessarily want to open Kit. It's a worse normal summon than Aluber. You don't really want to open Mercurier. You don't really want to open Brandon and Red. You don't want to open Retribution. You don't want to open Sword. I don't know. You don't really want to open Cartesia or Ecclesia. You don't want to open Albaz. That is true. Like I think, let's go through the cards that you want to open in this deck. I would say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this card is funny because of the way that this deck plays with this card, under certain conditions, you don't even want to open Branded Fusion. They made Branded Fusion a conditionally good card. Like, if you open up Fallen and White Dragon plus Branded Fusion, it's awkward. But, like I was saying, so 3, 6, 9. I'll give you High Spirits. High Spirits is good for the most part. So 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This card is not always good. Like you don't. It's like a weird card. Like it's okay to open, but it's not great. But let's say a solid 11 or and 12. Okay, a solid 12 cards. 12 out of the 41 cards you want to see in your hand. Like 100%. Every hand that you go first or second, you want to see one of these 12 cards. You have 12 cards in your 41 cards that you want to open. Like for sure, for sure. I don't know. But yeah, I think you need to main deck a card like Christian. This deck's end board is too fair without it. I mean, Fallen, yes, but Fallen is not a way to play. Fallen is like a non-engine card. But yeah, deck doctor me, sure. I feel like you're playing too many of these cards. I feel like these cards are super dog shit to draw going second. Like really, 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 really bad. Like it's making me rethink the entire engine. Like I think the engine is cool, but these cards are beyond dog shit to draw going second. They're actually just some of the worst Yu-Gi-Oh cards to draw going second. It's like drawing Diabellstar going second, but worse. I don't think you need Dragoon. Maybe Dragoon helps you a little bit into Fua, so it might be worth. Um, that's that I have to test more, but Dragoon might help into Fua, because this is a quick play spell, so you can set this, and then like have like an answer. So yeah, I think this card might be alright. I don't think you need two souls. You definitely only need one. Non-engine lineup is fine. I hate this card. I'm also starting to hate this card. I think this card sucks. Same thing with Bell. Like I feel like after Ash and Imperm and maybe Fua, if you want to be generous, every other hand trap in Yu-Gi-Oh is like so dog shit right now. Minus like Purge and Impulse, but those cards are very specific. And then Shifter, like those cards are very specific. But like as for generic hand traps, like after Ash and then Imperm, if you're being generous, same thing with Veiler. Like every non-ninja card feels so bad. That's why I feel like hand trap decks are so ass. Because it's like all the hand traps are really, really bad. So the consensus is side Pirellia. No, some decks you main Pirellia. I don't think that. I don't think you build decks based on like consensuses. I think you have to field test everything yourself for the most part when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh. But okay, do we have any more decks? All right, we got one more. All right, pure yummy. Okay. I think the Sky Striker package is super dog right now. Like bad going first and second. I think you should be main decking assist 100%. This card is broken. It's actually so broken. You should be main decking assist. I don't know how you ended up playing two Marshmallow. That is kind of ridiculous. I don't know how you ended up here. This card is a 3-0. I only have two. Okay, cool. Um, Extra deck wise is kind of all over the place. I don't think you need a lot of these cards. I'm gonna be so honest with you. Like you need SP 100% in this deck. If you have Spider, you should play Spider. I think you don't need these cards. You should be playing like Mary Melfi to like climb to Zarin without having to go like through Diabells. I don't think you necessarily need this card. I understand it as like a card to climb into off of the die bells, but I would play Chaos Angel before I played this card. I think Chaos Angel is just better right now, especially into like Dracotel. Like they need Fallen to deal with it. If not, they can't really deal with it. Well, again, guys, this is like kind of what I'm talking about. Like Yummy, its engine is so poor going second right now. You have to play infinite hand traps, but 99% of the hand traps are dog shit. Like Ash, Purge are the best hand traps in the deck. Like without a doubt, Ash and Purge are the best hand traps, and then followed by Imperm. I think these 9 cards are really bad. These 6 cards are terrible. These cards are like so bad, so bad. Also, yeah, you should probably be playing Obedience School if you're playing PRME. Um, and then you also should have Fua like somewhere in your side deck if you're not gonna main it. But yeah. I think Obedience School is in these type of decks where you just are trying to hand trap your opponent to death is like the best engine card to have going second. It's better than any other engine card you can have going second because it just immediately puts 3 bodies on the board. You still accepting Decklists? Of course. It just immediately puts 3 bodies on the board. It's the best engine card to have going second. And Yummy is Obedience School. All right, another Yummy. Is this not the list I just looked at? I just looked at this list, like literally. Um, Too many of these cards. They're good going first, terrible going second, like insanely terrible going second. I honestly don't think you should even play this card. I've been messing around with this engine more. Like, if I open this engine, it's cool. If I don't, so be it. Like, I think 4 cards as a starter is enough. I don't think you need 6. Like, these cards are very bad going first or going second. And into Fua, they're not good either. I don't think you need more than one of this. This card's a one of for sure. I don't know if you need the Dragoon stuff. It might make the deck better into Fua, which might warrant its stay, but I have to test that. You should be at 40 cards. I don't think you need cross on the main. I think after Ash and Fua and Imperm, the rest of these hand traps are dog shit, but you have to play them because this deck's engine just can't go second. I didn't really look at the side deck. It's kind of all over the place. Like Lancia shouldn't be in your side most likely. Extra deck is fine for the most part. This card should most likely be Chaos Angel. I'd play Chaos Angel before I play this. Everything else seems fine. Post it in the channel. Yeah, I know it's not. What would you play instead of the Dark Magician Quick Play? Probably more Yummy starters. Like, probably more maps. Alright, next. Okay. This deck. I don't know what to really say about this deck. Like, I know this deck got top 4. Was this top 4? Yeah, top 4 this weekend, past weekend. I think it's cool that Momento. And you know what's funny? I see that guy. I've seen that guy at regionals before. That guy is like a Momento one trick. He's nasty with that deck. But like usually when people play those like super niche decks, they get really nasty with them. So I wasn't surprised that he did well with that deck. Even though I don't think Momento is very good, but I feel like Momento is one of those decks that people don't practice for, and a lot of people, even though the deck has 1, 2 ICSs, a lot of people still don't know what Momento is trying to do and how to fight Momento. Like whether you're going first and they're going second into your board, like how to deal with their pushes or like how to hand trap them properly. Luckily for me, I played Momento, so I know how to stop this deck. But this deck is cool. I think he was going heavy on the quick play engine, which I think is a good thing. The Radiant Time Food cards as an engine in this deck, and it bridges into Momento, which I think is really cool. And cards like Vision and Chant just like give you like board breakers and more board presence. So, as a Momento one trick, this list is pretty ass. I mean, I don't think this list is amazing. Like playing 2 copies of Crown randomly, like things of that sort. But um, yeah. But I also don't think you should be playing Charmies. I think droplets should be in your main deck for sure. You should be main decking droplets in a deck like this, especially over a card like Crown. I also don't know about Ash Blossom. I don't think you need it. I think you just, if you're gonna play this deck, you just play it as a board breaker deck. Do you need two MSCs? I think you might need two MSCs. Yeah, if you're playing this many quick play spells, I think you want to have multiple MSCs. I'm gonna make you talk more about Memento. It's fine. I'll look at your list. All right, got one more list and then I'll look at yours. All right, so we have Yummy Fiend Smith. Um, Initial thoughts. I do not like playing this many Fiendsmith cards. I think that the cards are very poor into Fualos, and they're not very good going second. You should also be playing Assist. I'm going to just tell every Yummy player that sends me a list, you should be playing Assist. Assist is actually just broken. You should 100% be playing Assist. That card's insane. The hell? Give me one second. Chat. Yeah. So, this many Fiendsmith cards, not a fan. You should 100% be playing Assist. As for your non-engine, you have too many dead non-engine going first. Too many dead non-engine going first. I don't think that Yummy takes good advantage of Charmies. I don't think Charmies help Yummy. Because Yummy can't beat half boards. So I think you want actual hand traps instead of Charmies. But the issue is most of the actual hand traps are dog shit. That's why we saw like Poncho main decking Psyframes. Because Psyframes after cards like Ash and Purge, which you should 100% be playing Purge. There's no reason why you shouldn't be playing Purge. Are probably just like the best non-engine cards are like Psyframes. Which are, again, terrible going first, but they're just so powerful going second. And they actually help this deck win games by stopping the opponent. Okay. Next. Okay, Momento, 40 cards this time. Alright, so I already like this a lot better. I think 40 cards is really good. I like the multiple sleepy technology. I'm a fan of the card. Playing 3 copies of Vision, so not really a full engine, just a small draw engine inside of the deck. Also playing Fallens, I can get behind that. Um, I don't know. This main deck looks really clean to me. This looks like a really clean main deck. I don't know. Like if I played this deck, this is like I don't want to say close because I would have to test it for myself. But I like how this looks. I think you want to play Memento of 40 cards. So you can draw your good cards in this deck because yeah. This deck can't play a lot of non-engine, so you just want to draw your good cards. Um Super Polymerization is solid. Yep, with all the good targets. And then you're playing Proxy F, it also gives you access to Silvera. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, it's not. I like this list. It's good. I'm a fan. Um, these 2 slots maybe could be something better. But the rest is fine. I will win Kissimmee. God, yes. Do well. Alright. Next. Is there any other list that we have to look at? Yep, boss man. Let's go. Give me, all right. Dark Lords. Okay, let me see. So I don't know if I would play Dark Worlds with the Radiant Typhoon cards. I think that the I think that the Sulfur Cord engine does a way better job at getting you to more fairies. I also like Orange Light in this deck. I think that Orange Light is a really powerful hand trap that this deck gets to utilize. So I would want to utilize Orange Light if I could. So I would play Sulfur Cores with Orange Light if I were you instead of the Radiant Typhoon cards. I don't think they add much to your deck. I would also play three of this guy if I'm playing Orange Light. It's just the best card to dump off of Orange Light. It's also just another Dark Lord to make your Ichtel better. Yeah, that's my opinions on this. I would just play regular Dark Lords. I think the deck is good enough to do well at a regional. I don't know. I don't think it's YCS good enough, like the top of YCS, but it can do well at a regional.